Yeah, hi guys, it's Wednesday the 24th of July, and who could believe that the years is travelling through so much? I just want to talk to you a little bit about a couple of things, really. Going to give a little plug for my book, Final Word. You can see that. That's available on all Amazon sites globally. It's pretty good. It's the latest book. It's doing quite well, actually, out there on the marketplace, so that's quite good. So it's probably the most comprehensive book that I've written so far. The one prior to that, actually, which is also quite a good seller, is Under the Dome. Under the Dome by me, Carl Neville. So that's me. That's moi. What I want to talk about now is I'm just going to sort of give you a little read. I'm currently working on the new book project that I hope to get out sometime either later this year, worst case scenario February 25, but I'm trying to aim for October this year. So it's a bit of a mean feat to try and get that tied in and get it published by sort of end of October, early November. And this one's going to be simply called Book of Secrets. Now, there's quite some interesting things in there. Certainly some magical practice, as always. It's quite controversial in many respects. Anyone that follows my books will know that I write in a very controversial way that hopefully is quite thought-provoking, one would think. I'll let you be the judge of that. So I'm going to go on in a moment and just read you a little section out of the new book that I'm writing. So this is from the preface, the first little section that I'm doing, and see what you think, really. That'll be great. Let me know your thoughts. That'd be good. Yeah, so as I said, this is from the main sections of the preface at the beginning of the book that I'm working on, Book of Secrets. So I'll just start with it. It must be at this point that I am meant to explain to you what the book is about and how it may, or in fact will, alter your entire belief system, alongside your thought and feeling as to what truth actually is. You see, truth has always been a strange type of conundrum. After all, every single creature on this planet that you know as the Earth has a different type of truth. It stems from their perception of what actually is, or at least what they think something is. Through the ages, the human race has proved totally unworthy of many things in their reach. They have proved through their action, and of course their inaction, that they are totally incapable of achieving their full path of enlightenment. However, see, there's always a however, isn't there? However, amongst them lies a rare few, those who walk in the shadows and tread their path carefully. Maybe you're one of them. That which lurks in the midst of space and time without achieving full realization. For it shall be the perfect time and a perfect hour that shall come to pass, and accept those whom the tilers have made their own. It has been foretold that the tilers shall come to those whom have received salvation, yet not in the form of what you may think such a term to mean. No religion is true. Each of them has been conditioned to do no more than control the masses. Those who have professed to be the so-called leaders of their infested religions are no more than parasites. They feed on the very said energy that their followers have, bleeding them dry, draining their individuality from their mortal coils. For the system that has been designed by the said few, it is imperative that they restrict, almost tie the people of the earth into a way of what they call society. It is by the very nature of their formed society that they are able to set rules and regulations, and more so control how each human creature lives, and to a certain extent how each human creature dies. From the very beginning, you have been controlled. You were born and generally had at least one adult to teach you, to guide you on your journey through life. You were conditioned to know and understand the rules of society that you must follow. You were taught that your imaginary friends were not real and that you were simply grow out of them. You have further been conditioned to reject all ideas and beliefs that do not conform with society. The interesting point here is that society is dynamic. As we know, it's ever-changing. Dependent on the time, of course, and the year that you're in, social ideas and beliefs do, in fact, vary. You attended a form of schooling at an early age. as soon as you were able to. And you were able to control your toileting needs. At such a school, you were further socially conditioned to follow more rules and taught how to behave in a certain way. And during your journey through the school system, you were taught about the earth and its history. You were further taught that the history of the human race and, however, what you were generally taught was a series of lies. After all, if you tell lies for long enough, as we all very well know, then such lies are passed down through the generations, until such a point that they're believed to be pure truth. It's a funny thing, you see, this pure truth with business. In fact, there is little purity in it at all. Just a series of stories all bolted together to give you what you think are the answers to life, the universe and everything. But there is some irony here that at the point that you are journeying through schooling, you finally reach that point of no return. Yes, that's right, you are clearly and nearly classed in society as an adult. So you arrived at adulthood, that perfect time where you were considered to be in your prime, fueled with the energy of life and bursting with inquisitive thoughts. Some of you went on to further education, whereas others made the decision to join what they call the world of work. Whatever your choice you made, you were subjected to the same societal ideals. You were guided by a group of peers whom in turn had received the same conditioning in the past. You were taught further that in order to succeed in the world, you had to work hard, earn money and pay your taxes. For it is money that is the best form of control, as most of us well know, I guess. Yes, it is fair to say that the people require money in order to live in the world comfortably, but only because society has created the best system for controlling the masses. Of course, this works for wealthy people and poor people alike. Wealthy people have the desired urge to gain more and more money, and by doing so, they, to a certain extent, have a level of societal conformity. This also works for poor people, as they have learned that if they conform to societal values, then society will help them through in the form of aid and financial benefit, be it individual or government benefit. You see, the system is so designed that the government of the day ensures that it permits you to earn money, then takes a portion away from you for taxation. Of course, this does not stop there. There are hundreds of types of taxes that are applied so that the government can reduce your disposable income. By keeping the majority on a tight financial string, it is assumed that the level of societal compliance will be greater, assuming that people would not want to rock the boat. So you proceed through your life. Then, if you're fortunate enough, you live to travel into old age. You've managed to survive the societal demands and the financial cost that life did so place upon you throughout your life. And at this stage, you can only think of the final conclusion, I guess, the death of yourself, and how such an event will play on the minds of your loved ones. You see, the system, society itself, then places such a burden upon you. It insists that you make various arrangements for your own funeral, or at the very least set funds aside to help with the costs of your burial or cremation. And such a scenario is passed upon the majority of those who choose to be part of society in the way which they live, work and play. In many of words, it is a system that almost forces guilt upon those who choose to be non-compliant. For those who realise that their life is worth far more than anything in the material world, maybe you are one of these people, one that realises that you are here for a specific reason, that you have been reading these crafted words in a fashion, or listened to in this case, I guess, that has awakened something within you. Every creature on the planet, or rather within this realm, has the ability to tune and attune into vibration and the specific frequency. So to connect with the divine, or what is said to be the divine. Agreeably, those whom are traits or those who have a small amount of off-world DNA find it easy to attune to their vibration and specific frequency. Whichever type you are, it matters not, as it tempters of the world. The material objects and desires will always hold you back from achieving your spiritual potential, your actual enlightenment, as it were, or at least heading towards that. Some of you will be members of religious orders, attending your church or temple or place of worship regularly. You will no doubt be under the assumption that your God, whomever he or she may be, is listening and finds it pleasing that you are in attendance and assisting your clergy in their pursuit of sustainability, generally in the form of so-called donations, or your time given to tidy, to clean and repair the building to which you so frequent. There is an irony within the so-called religious orders, for they have practiced and taught the art of deception. They have brainwashed you into thinking that the nuclear family is an absolute must, yet as time has evolved upon the earth, there has been centuries where same-sex relations have been accepted. The cause of acceptance is not necessarily the key component, but rather the need to be in true love, no matter whom with. The civilization before you were never interested in the aspects of the male or female matching. They were more of love in whichever form it took. There was no need for acceptance, as a mixing of love in the soup of life was paramount. These so-called religions of today have written their own version of understanding, which is totally against all the human race that were to be formed and before them. All scriptures refer to off-world speeches as gods, yet it is hard to have such a term for those whom are of great knowledge. The gods that have visited and of course spent time upon the earth through the civilizations have taken a physical being in this realm and possessed them, so to live and learn of the human behaviour of which they have created. You see, that which many of you have referred to as God is so much more than you realise. He is the energy that blends in the night sky. He is a morning dew of freshness upon the ground. His essence in all things living, yet he remains in the shadows, ever watching, ever knowing. He is advised of all things, and all things he advises upon. The great Chin, chief of the wanderers, through space and time. In much of my musing, I have attempted to guide those who have understanding towards that which is pure, the truth of all in the universe and beyond. Many doubt the words that are written, but they are the truth, in all its finest capacity. For those of you who have understood and truly believe, you should be raised to levels beyond your wildest imagination, for it is written that the hand that is given in kindness shall so receive the blessing of the chief. It is the chief himself that is able to instruct his shadows, the wanderers, to guide those on their journey through the realms of space and time. The shadows are often referred to as the wanderers. They are one and the same, designating specific tasks, specific assignments upon the realms of the earth. Sometimes there are many upon the earth, yet at other times there are few. What is clear, though, is that each shadow is able to observe and provide a form of feedback to the chief, a feedback to Chin. As we know, nothing is by chance, and with such in mind we can explore the reasoning and the purpose of titles and names. We have already established that there is a specific species that are controllers in all realms which exist. It is fair to say that there are thousands of species in multiple realms. Yet, the key sequence has always been focused upon the Solakians, simply known as a Solak in singular form. Each Solak is a part of a series of events. Such events occur at intervals, so to keep the balance of all things. They are pure light, that which hides in the shadows. Which is quite interesting when we say that, isn't it? Pure light that hides in the shadows. But for those of you that have an understanding, I'm sure you'll understand exactly what that means and how it occurs. Yet they're often referred to as shadow people as well. They've been known as demons and further known as gods, and in relation to the earth they have often been confused by many, taking multiple names and the forms throughout history of the earth. What is specific is that their energy is that of blue in colour and is interchangeable. Their energy can possess a living creature, or they can merely exist in the wind of space and time. Their energy can possess a living creature, or they can merely exist on the wind of space and time in their original form as a blue-like vapour. There have been many stories throughout history of demons and gods, but what is clear is that they all one and the same. Such stories evolve around the Solakians. For though my musings I have guided you to this perfect point in time, this place where all can be seen for what it truly is, purity. The reason as to why knowledge has been hidden for those of the earth shall indeed come to light in the fullness of time itself. However, in the interim phase, we seek to know these beings in all their glory, and it is with such honour that we see the Solakian tribe and some information that surrounds them. So I'm going to leave that there, and I hope you've enjoyed the first clipping of my book. The book's very comprehensive. In the details that we're covering, or we as in me, that I'm covering in this new book, it's going to have the preface, which I've just been reading. There's a chapter called, and the following chapters are called The Realm, The Sun is Uma, The Moon is Ninasu, The Stars of Guntur, The Ophel Gods, Frequent Alignments, The Lie of Lies, Beyond Dice, and the most recent thing that is still a work in progress, which is going to be absolutely a fascinating read for anyone, I'm sure. This is information that has never, ever been in the public domain before. I can't emphasise that enough. So the final part of the chapters that I'm working on at the moment is called Stages of Existence. And there's lots of symbology in there. There's the seven stages, the 7 pathways, the 7 walks, however, 7 stones, 7 tablets, however you want to interpret the readings. But the stage of existence can be quite interesting as well. So I'm really excited about working through this project, this book project. I say I hope to get it live by sort of October, if not latest February 25. Keep an eye out, guys. In the meantime, check out my other books I've got. Carl Neville. You can always email me at Carl Neville, that's Carl with a K, carlneville@post.com. That's my email. It's really simple. Just give me an email. I'm always welcoming of comments and people wanting to give their viewpoints and things. It's always quite nice to hear from you guys. Okay, have a great evening or day, wherever you are, depending on the time and the place. And I hope to be back with you guys quite soon.